Wait till they line it up. I think they're going to spot it at the 37-yard line. Griffin got over there, but that time absolutely caving in. Tennessee's defensive on the positioning on the right side was that Florida State front, and he was able to turn the corner. Keep in mind he had a mile and a half to go for the first down. As it is, he picks up 23 yards on the sweep. It's third down, still long yardage to go, close to 18. Now back to the shotgun, flanked by two running backs. This is Outson back to throw, setting up a screen. It is caught, and Tennessee plays it brilliantly just as the catch was made. Racing after the receiver, Eric Westmoreland knocks down Travis Minor, and it's going to be an illegal procedure penalty as the Volunteers' tackle on the left side jumped, and so Tennessee's going to sustain a penalty. And let's go to the field and get the call.
All three flags for the same foul. Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So the ball will be stepped off from the 39 back to the 34-yard line. There is no score in this game. Tennessee coming in 12-0. Florida State coming into this game with a record of 11-1. The Vols line up in the I formation, and Florida State brings, in essence, 7 men up on the line. Martin back to throw on first down, looking across the middle, instead throws it out here to the flat. Pulled down here by the tailback who makes the catch at the 35-yard line. He carries up to the 40 as Travis Henry moves on forward to about the 43 or 4-yard line. He's shoved out of bounds by Tad Coley. Excellent catch actually by Henry, who had come momentarily open. He had to pirouette to make the catch, but then he was able to elude one tackler, and there may be a flag down along the near sideline.
After the play was over, dead ball personal foul, late hit against the defense, 15 yards.
The defense
automatic.
Is Florida State. And so Florida State, Bill, penalties mounting.
Yeah, that's really hurt them, and of course that's a big lift there. Tennessee had made a nice play, though, to get up there, almost picked up the first down. Then the penalty tacked onto that really moves it on into Florida State territory now.
It's a 15-yard penalty for a late hit out of bounds. Clearly there was a contact right in front of the Florida State bench down below. And so the penalty against the Seminoles will be stepped off from the point of infraction. It will be for Tennessee, first down and 10 to go at the Seminole 42-yard line. There is no score in this game. Tennessee into an I formation, flankers left and right. 6 men up very tight. Tennessee runs a man in motion. Price. The give goes up the middle. This will be Travis Henry. He breaks one tackle. This is Travis Henry to the 40, down to the 35, and he crashes forward to about the 33-yard line where Cleveland Thomas makes the tackle. But Travis Henry, running straight ahead behind the blocking of Riley and Hamilton and Sean Bryson, the fullback, cracks it down as they spot the ball, as we mentioned, the 43-yard line. It's about a half-yard shy of a first down. 0-0 the score. Tennessee with the football in state territory. Now the Vols maybe a waist down. Who knows, as it's less than a yard to go. Martin sizes up a 5-man front. He adjusts the play. Man in motion as the give this time goes to Henry, and Henry comes banging through the right side of the line. I do not know that he made the first down. He was really stopped immediately by Corey Simon, a junior from Pompano Beach, playing the nose guard, but he gets first down, Big Orange.
Yeah, he got just a nose by there, but not by much, but enough. Pick up the first down, John.
And so Tennessee, which earlier missed a field goal, will have the ball first down and 10 to go, and it is spotted just inside the 32-yard line. Henry now in 6 carries has 11 yards. The Vols come with 2 tight ends, single receiver to the right side. The tailback is Travis Henry. It is a 5-man front. The linebackers coming up tight as well. Man in motion is Wilson from left to right, and Tennessee might have taken too long to get the play in motion, as the Vols had both Diagu and Finlayson in there, and this will be
on the offense for a full start.
And so it will be a 5-yard penalty. Illegal procedure is the call against Tennessee. The second time that has occurred. And so instead of 1st and 10, it will be 1st and 15, and it has been moved back to the 37-yard line. For Florida State defending up front, and they use a lot of people rotating, maybe 10-12 among the 4 down linemen. They've now got Warren, Simon Johnson, and Reynolds in the lineup. Tennessee will come with a wing back to the right side. The pitch will go to Henry, cutting right, and then he is chased down, comes grinding forward for a yard or two. There's a scramble for a loose ball after the tackle is made, and as Florida State comes up, they say we have the football. The official has not yet indicated that that is true as we wait, but it appears that that is exactly what has happened, but we'll wait until the referee signals exactly who comes out of there with the football. It was Travis Henry struggling and churning and grinding and ramming through the right side, and people grabbing and trying to strip the football from him. As Florida State's offensive unit has come onto the football field, Tennessee's defensive team as well coming in. So though the referee has not advised us, we're going to assume, Bill, it was a fumble and a recovery.
Yes, it was. I think he saw it. He was in the crowd over there. He gave the signal. John, I don't think he picked up on it.
I did not.
He was in the crowd. But
so it's going to be first down on the recovery of the fumble by Henry, and it will be Florida State taking possession at its 36-yard line in a scoreless game. And they'll go right back into the shotgun. The running backs are Glenn and Minor, who are on either side of the quarterback, Alson, who comes rolling to the right side. Pass downfield is incomplete. It was intended for Warwick, who was double covered, and the Volunteers, Bill, very close to picking it off.
Yeah, they slipped it over there on Warwick, and I think we'll probably see a lot of that tonight on him. He is something else as an athlete. He gets that ball in his hand. He gets down there in the secondary. You got to better look out.
And so it will be an incomplete pass, and it becomes second down and 10 in a scoreless game with 6:28 to go in the first period of the contest. Thus far, in the air, Florida State 2 of 3 for net 4 yards. Here come the Seminoles to the line. Minor is the tailback in a straight I formation. Flankers left and right, 4-man front for Tennessee. The pitch will go to Minor. Minor comes to the near side, gets one block, being chased down, and Tennessee shows the speed, but Minor shows the ability to break out of 2 tacklers who were right on top of him back at the 31-yard line. He escapes and moves it forward past the 35 up to about the 39-yard line, where Ron Green finally makes the tackle. Minor is a sophomore from bounds. Excellent play by Minor, and so it ends up a gain of right at 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd down 6. No score in the game. Coming to the near side as a flanker. Back to throw. This will be Alson. Alson is being chased out of there. Comes running forward. This is Alson who has the ball to the 40, up to the 45. He will move for a first down for the Florida State Seminoles as Al Wilson finally comes across to make the tackle. Tennessee came with pressure, really got to him, but Alson, who, as we mentioned, was an option quarterback and an outstanding runner in high school, is able to move forward for the first down for the Seminoles.
He stood in there, pretty good coverage downfield. He really didn't have anybody to throw it to. Tennessee's secondary done a good job, but they dropped back. He pulled it down, made a nice run for the first.
A Volunteer player injured on the play. That is Ron Green. He's been replaced by Darwin Walker. And Tennessee will defend with Florida State in a scoreless game. 6:12 to go in the first half. And Tennessee substitutes. D'Angelo Lloyd is in the game with Ratliff, Walker, and Corey Terry. Westmoreland, Wilson, and Thompson are the linebackers. And the Vols are going with Johnson, Goodrich, Griffin, and Grant in the defensive secondary. No score, but Florida State explosive, moving with the football. And here they come to the line. They go into an I formation. Up under the center is Outson. Coles and Minor, the running backs. Coles can fly. This will be Outson giving it off inside, and just as making the cut is Minor. Tennessee is there with Raynock Thompson, dropping him for a loss. Tempers flare across the way. I see no flag, and I see a loss on the play of a yard, maybe 2. The ball is pulled back and spotted at the State 46-yard line. And Florida State needs to get the ball down to the Tennessee 41 for the first. So it will be second down and maybe 13 yards to go. Coles comes out of there. He is an all-purpose player as a wide receiver. Also, as a running back, he does stay as a wide receiver. Now it will be Outson into the shotgun. Tennessee coming after him as the pitch will go here to Coles, and Coles can fly around the left side to the 45, and he is chased down and knocked out of bounds as he moves past the 50 by the racing Dwayne Goodrich with Steve Johnson. As he moves the ball, it is marked at the 44-yard line of Tennessee. Well, Bill, we mentioned that Coles can move, and can he?
He can do that. They've got a lot of people can move. John, great speed on this Florida State team, and Coach Bowden uses it. He's not afraid to mix it up. Already in the game, he's run 2 or 3 reverses and trying to spread this Tennessee defense.
And so it was Tennessee showing some speed to catch up and knock Coles out of bounds. It will be 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Minor is the single running back with 2 tight ends in the football game. And this is Outson back to throw, being chased, and he is going to be dumped as Tennessee gets some pressure on him, and downfield Tennessee had the intended receiver Warwick covered with a double. And so Outson moves forward and gains a couple of yards on the play, may come up short by about a yard for the first down. But Florida State, of course, always unafraid to, in essence, go for a first on 4th. But right now it appears that Florida State is going to try to back Tennessee up with 4:50 to go in the first quarter. The punter, Cottrell, is coming into the game. Tennessee will send Deion Grant back to receive. There is no score in this Fiesta Bowl game in Tempe, Arizona. Snap, Cottrell hits the punt high. It's going to be very short. He's thinking about a pooch, and it is a terrible pooch. But then it takes a great bounce, and it skips after bouncing in the vicinity of the Tennessee 27-yard line. It rolls downfield about 11 yards and will be spotted at the 16. Punt is good for 27 yards, and Tennessee takes over.
Today on
Johnny Long. Administrative Assistant David Blackburn. Equipment Roger Frazier, Max Parrott. Tennessee will hand the ball. It is spotted at the Volunteers 16-yard line on the left hash mark. The balls come with a wingback, and Travis Stevens is in there now at the tailback. 5-man front, Tennessee man in motion from left to right. Now reversing back to the right side as the give goes to Travis Stevens, skirting the left side of the line. This is Stevens, who skips past the 20-yard line and is shoved out of bounds in the vicinity of the 22 by Dexter Jackson. Stevens, who is a sophomore from Clarksville, 107 carries, 477 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. He has scored 4 touchdowns this year. Travis Henry, 7. Both, of course, playing after the injury in the 4th game to Jamal Lewis, who went out for the season. He, on the year, 73 carries, 497 yards, 3 touchdowns. Career-wise, 1861 total yards. Tennessee will have it 2nd down and close to 4 yards, actually, as Martin hands the ball off again to Stevens. There's nothing there. He tries to knife over the right side of the line. And there on the inside defending a lot of people, and coming up will be Derek Gibson, a safety bill, but they're using a lot of people up in that front.
Well, they got them all up there. Look, playing the run tough. I tell you, they in there, but there's really no place to go. And so far, it looks to me like Florida State's doing a good job of anticipating the play down in position as to what Tennessee's going to be doing. With their defenses, they've been right on target with it.
So Tennessee 3rd down upcoming. Scoreless game. 3:11 to go in the first quarter. The ball, single running back Stevens. Florida State dancing on defense. The Volunteers with 2 receivers to the left side, and Martin rolls out this way. Back to throw, but as he does, a flag has already been dropped. And so the officials will discuss on whom this penalty will occur. Tennessee coming into the game 12-0, Florida State 11-1. It will be illegal procedure against Tennessee. And so the 5-yard step off will make it, instead of 3rd down and right at 4, it's going to be 3rd down and 9 yards to go. And my guess, up under the center, this will be Tennessee's T. Martin. Here comes Florida State after him. He steps up and he is dumped. He thought about passing, but he couldn't think too long about it because, as we anticipated, Florida State brought everybody, and he is thrown for a loss.
Yeah, they read it, pass play all the way. Got him into position. They came with all-out blitz on him, and really, they put pressure on him before he could get turned around.
And so that was Brian Allen getting credit for the tackle. A lot of people were close. And here again, David Leverton standing at his goal line.
Look at that.
And deep will be Durden, waiting for the snap. Everybody coming after it. This is the punt away. Not a good one. It's got to be bouncing out of bounds very, very short. Far across the way as they align it. It's going to be Florida State getting possession after the punt by Leverton goes out of bounds at the Tennessee 42-yard line. 28 yards on that punt from the end zone by Leverton. And so, Bill, the kicking game.
The kicking game, you know, John, this
one. Winning over Texas A&M, then losing at North Carolina State, then 10 wins in a row. Duke, Southern California, Maryland, Miami, Clemson, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Virginia, Wake Forest, and Florida in the season finale, 23-12. Here comes Florida State to the line. No score. Tennessee defending with 4 down linemen. Florida State goes into the I formation. The tailback is Travis Minor. They run a man in motion from left to right. Long count by Outson. Pitches back to Minor, coming to the near side, and Minor is decked. Dumped behind the line of scrimmage by a penetrating Eric Westmoreland. Actually, Bill, Tennessee had a couple players coming after him, and it was finally Westmoreland who closed the door.
Yeah, a nice defensive play. Good penetration back there. They were on him. He tried to turn it upfield and couldn't make a move. They hit him.
On the year, Florida State rushing 150 yards per game, 252 yards passing. A loss on the play, as we said, of 3 yards. It becomes 2nd down and 13 in a scoreless game. Florida State outside its 45. Here comes a fake reverse, long pass downfield is going to be incomplete. As it was nice faking actually by Outson, although he read it pretty well. He faked the give first to Minor, then to the reverse coming to Warwick on the near side, fades back, and Tennessee had double coverage on Coles, who was racing downfield with Steve Johnson, and for the Volunteers, Deion Grant. Really a chance for an interception, not a great one, but as it is, it becomes 3rd down and 13.
Had good time to fake, kept everybody at home, though. Johnny had plenty of time to sit back there and make the play, but good coverage by the Tennessee secondary. Grant got over there fine.
0-0 the score. Florida State 3rd down and long. Back to the shotgun with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tennessee bringing linebackers as Alton is back to throw. Pass downfield is incomplete. Intended to Coles with a reaching one-hand grab as Steve Johnson had him in the open field man-to-man, but the pass was thrown behind him. It would have been a miraculous catch had he made it, which he did not do. And so here's 4th down. 1:17 to go in the first quarter, still scoreless. A lot of offense, actually a lot of near offense is about the way to say it, Bill, would you say?
Yeah, near is about all there's been.
And here to punt will be Cottrell. Deep for Tennessee is Grant. Again, he tries to pooch it downfield. Grant moving up, asking for, but then lets the ball bounce. And it takes a superlative Florida State bounce down to about the 10-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 11 where it was downed. Grant signaled for the fair catch, but seeing the on-rushing Seminole defenders, he thought better of it and stepped away hoping for a reverse bounce, but didn't get it. And it ends up as a 33-yard punt, but keep in mind that once again it's a game of field position right now. And Florida State is trying to back Tennessee up, trying to stop them, and with Tennessee's inconsistency in the punting game, who knows? The Volunteers and the Seminoles are tied 0-0 with 67 seconds to go in the first quarter of the game. Tennessee has had 1 turnover in the game. It was a fumble recovery, a fumble lost by Travis Henry, who is right now in there at tailback against a virtual 8-man front. Martin, play action. Martin looking, long pass downfield, racing, complete at the 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, out of bounds at the 12-yard line, number 37, Peerless Price. I do not see a marker on the play, and Tennessee goes for the home run.
First down pass. They were playing run all the way. Tennessee caught him.
76 yards. Martin to Peerless Price. Price got behind the receiver. The pass pretty much in stride, and Price pulled it down. Finally, Sean Key, who was one of the 2 defenders on Price, was able to get an angle on him and force him out of bounds. But Tennessee certainly has turned field position around, and the Volunteers in a 0-0 game will have it first down and 10 at the 12-yard line of Florida State. Into the I formation, Travis Henry, the tailback. This is Henry popping up the middle, and he grinds a yard. It was not easy even to get that. So it's a gain of a yard, and he's knocked down by Demetro Stevens, the middle linebacker from Sandersville, Georgia. The Vols in a 0-0 game, having the ball at the 11-yard line of Florida State. Ball was missed, and the score is still 0-0. Tennessee inside the 15-yard line at the 11. 2 receivers to the left side. One of them, Copeland, is a man in motion back to the right, as this will be Martin keeping on the little option to the right, and he gets back to the line, no more than that, as Corey Simon is there waiting on him. So the Vols, after going on first down Bill for the long pass 76 yards, 2 running plays, neither able to pick up much yardage, and it's going to be third down, 9 yards to go.
It's awful tough sledding in there trying to push them back and overpower. They got everybody short end of the field. The backs are up tight, playing the run. Everybody's playing the run.
University was founded in 1857. Now located and then, of course, in Tallahassee, Florida. 30,519 the enrollment. Colors garnet and gold. Athletic director Dave Hart. Tennessee third down long. Florida State, a lot of people at the line. Tennessee 2 receivers left, 1 right. Martin handles the ball off inside to Sean Bryson, and he cracks through the right side of the line, pounding inside of the 10, as the Vols, Bill, apparently, from our perspective, not wanting a turnover and going instead for 3 points.
Looks that way. They played it in there very safe on 3 different running plays, John. And this big defensive front of the Noles down there are playing the run extremely tough. They haven't been able to break any kind of holes in it. It gets exceptionally tough when you get down close to their goal line.
So here's Jeff Hall. In this game, he is 0 of 1 in field goal tries. Snapping Gregory, holding is Scott. There is no score in this game. This will be from the 14. The field goal attempt is in the air. Did he make it? Penalty marker is down on the play, and we have not received the signal. I think the field goal was good, but we do not know for sure. And we mentioned that there is a yellow marker down because of an infraction. Tennessee is at this point the team with whom they are conferring, and one of the officials is coming to the near sideline. Then he turns and goes back, so we'll just wait and give you that indication when indeed it occurs. The University of Tennessee in Knoxville was founded in 1794. Its enrollment 25,039. The president, Dr. Joseph Johnson, faculty chairman, Dr. Carl Asp, chancellor, Dr. William Snyder.
Roughing the kicker. The penalty is accepted. Field goal is taken off the board. It's an automatic first down for Tennessee.
Good decision, Bill Anderson.
Good decision. You don't ever want to take points off of the board, John, I know, but in this much time in the ball game, an opportunity to get down there first down and goal to goal, I think it's worth it.
The kicking game. That's twice in this game Florida State has been guilty of roughing the kicker. This time a place kicker, earlier a punter. And that roughing the punter allowed Tennessee to march downfield. First of all, it wiped off a sensational punt return by Durden. And now Tennessee has the ball first down and goal, taking away a 3-0 lead. It's first down and goal, 0-0 at the 4-yard line. Henry is the tailback. Martin hands off Henry, throwing the pass into the end zone. Did he catch it? No, it was skipped to Finlayson, the tight end, as Tennessee runs with Travis Henry rolling to the right side, and the pass slightly underthrown, and it will become second down and goal.
Travis Henry's upset with himself. He came out there. The play was set up beautifully. He just didn't get the ball to him.
And so Finlayson, who made a dive, actually trapped it. And so Tennessee, which went for the field goal and made it, now went for the touchdown. It was oh so very close. The end zones here at one end, it's the checkerboard orange and white. That is the end to which Tennessee is moving. This is Martin. Back to throw, looking into the end zone. Pass caught, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee, to the senior and captain from Franklin, NC, Sean Bryson.
Good decision, John.
Oh, yes. Tennessee takes away the field goal made, and as Bill Anderson confirms, the decision to give up the field goal and go for the touchdown from the 4-yard line pays off. So now into the game will be Jeff Hall. Earlier he made a field goal. Now this an extra point attempt with the score 6-0 Tennessee on top. Waiting for the snap. The kick is in the air. This time the kick splits them. Tennessee leads 7-0. And we'll take a break for our stations by telling you with timeout, the Volunteers 7, the Seminoles 0.
The human body is the most ingenious.
Second touchdown reception of the year. All told, rushing and receiving, he has 6. It will be Tennessee to kick off. And Florida State will send deep Warwick, and Coles. Coles, in the press guide for Florida State, is listed that he has been clocked at 4.19, Bill, in the 40.
That's about what I used to run.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of clock they've got, but he's fast, I'll tell you that.
And back there with him is Warwick. And Warwick, of course, is averaging right at 29 yards per kickoff return, and Coles 28, which tells you both of them can fly. And Tennessee needs excellent kickoff coverage as here's the kick by Hall. He drills it downfield, and chasing it in the end zone is Warwick. What will he do? He will down it, and that was an excellent decision. And the reason is that though he might have skipped out of there, Bill, his momentum was carrying him horizontally across the field.
I think Tennessee was as glad he stayed there as he was, because that guy, every time he gets his hand on the ball, he's scary.
So it's got to be first down and 10 to go. Now Florida State trailing in this game by a score of 7-0. And to this point, Florida State mixing its play, showing all kinds of different concepts. They've pretty well divided it in a shotgun and with the quarterback under the center. The quarterback who's gone all the way is the sophomore Marcus Outson. He's up under the center, his team in the I formation. Tennessee, 5 linemen. This is Outson on play action, back to throw. Long pass down to the near side is going to be complete. Fine move made by Ron Dugans. He was defended by Steve Johnson. Long pass, and it's caught all the way at the 45-yard line of Florida State. He shoved out of bounds at the 49. One-on-one, made a pirouette, and Johnson really pretty good coverage, but the ball just was there on target.
He came back for the ball on him, and Johnson was there pretty close, but couldn't get himself. He got turned around, John, and he couldn't get back to make a play at the ball.
So a big first down pass play, good for 29 yards, and Florida State trailing 7-0 has the ball near midfield. They'll run a man in motion, Warwick, from left to right. And this is Outson looking for Warwick. Pass to Warwick downfield is intercepted. Tennessee at the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Tennessee. Wayne Goodrich playing Warwick. Played it perfectly.
Played it perfectly. He was laying out there waiting, set the trap. They tried to throw it across the field on the out. He just stepped in front of him. Beautiful.
Dwayne Goodrich, 4th interception this year, returns it for the touchdown, 53 yards, and the Volunteers score 13 points in 3 plays, 1 on offense and 2 on defense. The second one gives Tennessee the lead. And here is Jeff Hall, the bigger lead, I should say, as here's Hall to attempt the extra point. Moving to your right, and that's where the orange and white checkerboard end zone is. Down, up. Yes. Timeout. With timeout, the score for our Vol Network stations, Tennessee 14, Florida State nothing.
1998 was an incredible year for the Tennessee Vols, and the News Sentinel was there every step of the way.
5 seconds.
Wow, that's moving out. I tell you, that was a great play over there by Goodrich. Oh, they had the double coverage on Warwick, John, and dropped back. He kind of hid that double coverage. They didn't show it until he made the out move, and he threw the ball. Then he just stepped right in front of him, made a good pick, and touchdown.
Goodrich, of course, he for Tennessee is a junior from Oak Lawn, Illinois. And so he has returned it for the TD. Tennessee coming in with a record of 12-0, 8-0 in Southeastern Conference play. Winning over Syracuse, Florida, Houston, at Auburn, at Georgia, Alabama, at South Carolina, UAB, Arkansas, Kentucky, at Vanderbilt, and the SEC Championship playoff game for the second year in the row. This time winning over Mississippi State in Atlanta, 24-14. Well, it's 14-0 as Tennessee will be kicking off with Jeff Hall to boot. And deep will go Coles and Durden this time for Florida State. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Not much wind that we can detect. What wind there is at Tennessee's back. This will be Hall. And here's the kick by Hall. It's going to be driving downfield and will be corralled at the 6. Back to the 10, to the 15, running room to the 20, outside to the 25, still on his feet. This will be Coles, who moves the ball to the 30-yard line, and he is tackled as he more or less really got pretty well hemmed in by his own blockers, and Tennessee's Derek Edmonds finally is able to catch up with him. A return of 29 yards, but again, so close.
Boy, they've got some scary people. Don, I'm telling you, these guys are quick.
So it will be Tennessee leading 14-0 as Florida State goes back on offense. Outson, who on the year has been intercepted for the third time, this time into a Tennessee touchdown. The Volunteers 6 men up tight. Out of the I formation, Outson is handing the ball off to the tailback Travis Minor. He started at about the 29. He ends up maybe slightly past the 30-yard line as Fred White, who has been slowed with an injury, is in there now for Tennessee, and it is he who makes the tackle. Spot the ball at the 31-yard line. It's going to be a short 9 yards to go, actually, with Tennessee leading 14-0 and 13 minutes to go in the first half of the game. That's Minor's 6th carry for 33 yards net. On the year, he's averaging right at that 4.5 yards per carry. Tennessee dancing on defense as Florida State sends 2 receivers to the left side, staying in the I formation. And this will be Outson again handing the ball off to Minor, and this time Minor is absolutely swarmed and clogged, and what appeared to be a passing situation finds Tennessee anticipating a rush. Raynock Thompson and Darwin Walker are there to make the tackle for a loss on the play back to the 28-yard line.
Stuffing it pretty good defensively against the run. I think Florida State, I noticed their coach down there had a little get-together with the offensive group. And I'm sure trying to tell them not to get rattled in too big a hurry. They're trying to go to the running game, but so far Tennessee's played it tough.
Tennessee defending with Ellis, Ratliff, Walker, and Corey Terry in the front four. Westmoreland, Wilson, Thompson, the linebackers. Into the shotgun goes Outson. 2 backs there with him. Tennessee coming after him, and he is in deep trouble. And he is sacked. Tennessee came with everybody, and Outson looked up and I'm sure said, "What do I do now?" He tried to move forward, but Raynock Thompson said, "No, you are tackled."
That's the Tennessee, John. When they unload and come with everybody, they can put some pressure. He didn't have time to turn around.
So here's Cottrell coming into the game to punt, and deep for Tennessee goes Eric Parker. He, of course, from Illinois as well. We say as well because Goodrich, who just ran the interception back for the touchdown, is from Illinois. Snap. Cottrell gets it away, drives the punt, and drives Parker, who's back, going to let the ball bounce, and it is picked up by Parker at his 18 back to the 20 and is tackled at the 22, and that was just a superlative punt by Cottrell of 59 yards, then went over the head of Parker. He chased it down, scooped it up, and returns it 4 yards, and so Tennessee goes on offense at the 22-yard line. And actually, Bill, the return of 4 might have been, though it's not much yardage, sort of with the approval of the University of Tennessee. Well, the Volunteers will have the ball. First down and 10 to go at the 22-yard line after the outstanding punt by Cottrell, who now in the ball game, and this will be misleading because 2 of his punts were in essence pooch punts. This one was good for 59 and the earlier one 45, so he has been a key as Tennessee goes on offense in the I formation against an 8-man front. And this will be the give going to Travis Henry, and he pounds, gets a little opening for a gain of 2 yards, then is knocked down by Seymour. As Bill Anderson outlined for you a moment ago, if Tennessee could break that initial line, there's room to roam, but basically, Bill, it's going to be a job breaking it.
It's a job to break through that bunch. That's a tough defensive front down there. They get them all jammed up in there. Everybody up on the line of scrimmage, linebackers moving up in there, play and run. It's just hard to get any room.
Tennessee scored first, and the key play was a first down pass of 76 yards from Martin to Peerless Price. Then a pass interception. Tennessee leads 14-0. Flags fly once again. I think Tennessee might have been guilty of illegal procedure. And, Bill, that stems, I think, from the fact that Florida State is so lightning quick in that front 4, and Tennessee anticipating the snap wants to get
number
the
1,
angle.
Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee this time asked for a timeout. And so it will be the first timeout asked for the Volunteers, and it will give Tennessee a chance to discuss this situation. Bobby Bowden, all-time in his 23rd year at Florida State, 292, 84, and 4. Florida State has won 10 games or more 13 consecutive years. Florida State has been to 18 consecutive bowl games, and Florida State has been ranked among the final poll in the top 4 11 consecutive years. So Florida State in the tenure of Bobby Bowden obviously has been among the nation's leaders as far as college football is concerned. Tennessee all-time, this the 39th bowl game for the Volunteers, the all-time record for Tennessee, 21-17. Florida State, keep in mind, they just began football in 1947, not in 1891, as was the case with Tennessee. So they have played much fewer years, 47 years all told, Tennessee 102. This the 28th bowl game, and they, the Seminoles, 17-8-2. They played in the Orange Bowl 5 times, and here in the Fiesta and in the Sugar Bowl 4 times. Tennessee in the polls this year finished first in the Associated Press, ESPN, USA Today, and in the Bowl Championship Series, the one I guess that ends up counting the most, 12-0. Right now it will be Tennessee with the football after the timeout was asked for. And to reset the facts for you, the ball rests at the 24-yard line. It's got to be second down and 8. Tennessee leads by a score of 14-0 with 10:30 to go in the first half. Florida State again, a lot of people at the line, but anticipating the pass, they jump the linebackers off a bit. And this is Martin looking for the pass across the middle. Peerless Price is intercepted. Pulled away by Florida State at the 50, down to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5-yard line. This will be Derek Gibson knocked out of bounds after a 43-yard return of the pass interception as Martin was going for Price, but Gibson was there and Price was not there.
Yeah, he was right there, and I don't know, was ball looked to me like it was way off target. John's a little bit difficult from up here to tell the angles on it, but looked like he missed through it pretty much to the inside.
Turnover number 2 for Tennessee, the first interception of a pass by Martin in this game. On the year, that's the 7th interception, and this was an outstanding return by Gibson, and so Florida State trailing 14-0 earlier gave up 7 points on a 53-yard interception and return by Tennessee. Now Florida State turning the tables, and it will be first down and goal at the Volunteer 3-yard line. Into the I formation, Minor is the tailback. They've got 2 tight ends, and the pitch goes to Minor coming to the near side, and he is going to be banged down. He twists forward for a gain of a yard on the play as Tennessee pursues with Sean Ellis and Al Wilson. It will be second down and goal as Tennessee leads 14-0, but a pass interception as Martin threw it across the middle, and Price actually, Bill, appeared to be 8-10 yards away from where the interception was made. As it is, Florida State returns it. It will be second down and goal.
Yeah, I think it looked like it was way off target. Either Price ran the wrong route or T missed through it badly.
And here's Florida State. They've got double wing set to the right, and they run that way with Minor, and Minor cracks it inside the 1-yard line. Is shoved back, but it will be short of the first down. And so it is going to be for Florida State third down and goal to go. The score remains Tennessee 14 and the Seminoles nothing. As the ball scored first, a key pass play from Martin to Price. The last one was Martin going for Price, but he was not there, and it was instead intercepted, and Florida State now has about the length of a football to go to get on the scoreboard with 9:11 to go in the first half of the game. Tennessee leads 14-0. State to the line. Same set. McCrary is the running back, and this was McCrary cracking through the right side. He stretches out. I'm not sure that he got in there. There is a fumble. I think there's a scramble for a loose ball down there. All kind of action reaction occurring as they unstack the players, and the officials as yet not giving any indication. Florida State has its kicking unit into the football game, but let's see what the call is going to be. There has been, yes, it is ruled a touchdown. It is a touchdown for Florida State. As working his way in was McCray. I apologize, but we have to wait, of course, for the referee to signal it. And finally, it is indicated as he spots the ball at the 3-yard line that it will be Florida State converting a Tennessee turnover.
Tennessee, number 2.
The Volunteers will be asking for a timeout now, as I think they were a bit uncertain as to whether or not the touchdown had been made. So it will be Florida State with the extra point attempt upcoming. Janikowski on the year is 42 of 43. Turnovers evening out, Bill. Tennessee got a touchdown off a turnover, and Florida State comes right back to get its touchdown.
Yeah, that was a big interception there. Miscue by Tennessee's offense set them right up for it. looked like Tennessee's defense was going to hold them out of there for a minute, John, but they were too close on it. And that time, Tennessee was acting like there was a fumble loose down there. I never did see them signal touchdown either. I've totally got lost in that play.
Well, as it is, it will be a touchdown, and it will be Florida State in to attempt the extra point. And I really am pretty certain that Tennessee did not, from the sideline, perhaps in the press box, understand that a touchdown had been allowed or scored or awarded. And so there was a bit of uncertainty as to the configuration of the alignment defensively. Now things have been straightened out. That ended up with Tennessee, of course, using a timeout. Here's Janikowski, a left-footed kicker. There's movement by Florida State on the right side. And so flags fly, and there will be a penalty, I assume, against Florida State for illegal procedure. That won't bother Janikowski all that much. He's got a tremendous leg. And so it'll be a 5-yard step off, moving the ball back out there to the 8-yard line. And it will be Janikowski with Outson, the quarterback, to hold, and Ingram to snap. His just an outstanding kicker, was recruited by Tennessee, as a matter of fact, and considered Tennessee. But, of course, Jeff Hall was there. So here comes the sophomore for the extra point attempt, as it is juggled by the receiver. The ball hits the goalpost and ricochets back, and Tennessee has a defender down there to make the reception of the ricochet. That was Westmoreland, but once it hit the goalpost, of course, it was dead. But there, a poor snap, and it is no good.
That was blocked, too, a little bit. I think somebody got a little bit of a hand on that, John, and I think it's a funny-looking thing. I believe somebody got a hand on it.
It just was not cleanly executed, and we'll say it again, Bill, the kicking game.
Kicking game is big in this ball game.
So it will be Tennessee leading by 8 points. The Vols did give up the touchdown on Janikowski. Kicked the ball. It could have been deflected by Tennessee. Anyway, it was no good. And so Tennessee leads by a score of 14-6. And we have 8:59 to go in the first half of the game. Janikowski will be kicking off. Capacity crowd, a lot of orange, as Bill Anderson outlined, probably outnumbering Florida State. This kick is going to be relatively short by Janikowski. Pulled down by Tennessee at the 6, 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25. And this will be Fearless Price returning it up to the 27-yard line. So things have gone bad, Bill, for Janikowski. He's knocking them into the end zone for touchbacks on right about 8 out of 10. This one was short, and the win may be more a factor than I anticipated. Anyway, Tennessee will have the ball, leading by a score of 14-6. And it will be spotted at the 27-yard line. For the Vols, T. Martin has gone all the way at quarterback. Travis Stevens alternating with Travis Henry at tailback. And at fullback, it will be for Tennessee now Will Bartholomew. The tailback is Travis Stevens. Flankers left and right. Price man in motion from right to left. Martin gives off to Stevens, tries to get outside as a helmet flies all over the place to our right. And it's one of the Volunteers, that's Bartholomew, who popped a defender and lost his helmet. Stevens ends up with a gain of maybe a yard on the play, as Jerry Johnson is there to stop him. Florida State on first downs, well, really pretty much except in obvious passing situations, having a lot of people up there. Now it's Warren, Simon, Johnson, Reynolds, Green, Allen, and Humphrey. Tennessee with Stevens, the tailback. And this is Martin giving off to Stevens again. Nice through, breaks a tackle. This is Travis Stevens to the outside. He's at the 30. He's at the 35. This is Travis Stevens to the 40. And he's shoved out of bounds finally by Thomas as he's got a first down, Big Orange.
Good run by Stevens, John. I tell you, it wasn't much of a hole there. Somebody hit him. He bounced off of one of the defenders and bounced to the outside and was able to pick up good yardage.
Tennessee leads by a score of 14-6 as the ball is spotted at the Volunteer 43-yard line. And Florida State constantly substituting on defense. They've got great depth. And it will be, to this point, Henry 9 carries for 14 yards. Stevens 4 for 22 for Tennessee. It's tough. The Volunteers now have a tight end to the right or wide side, and they're running this side with Stevens sliding to the inside. Now gets outside as he is horse-collared down after a gain of only a yard. And that was Derek Gibson there defending for Florida State. For a moment, it appeared that Stevens, who started off tackle, then veered back in, might be able to circle wide and get free, but Gibson just too quick, as is safety coming up to make the tackle. On the year, he had 46 stops. For Tennessee, it's got to be second down, maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Make it second down and 9. Martin, his last pass was intercepted and set up the touchdown as the Vols lead 14-6. Martin with the ball in the right hash mark, and here are markers flying as he tries to adjust the call, and so doing, a dead ball situation has occurred, and the referee will tell you what the foul is.
Dead ball foul, both flags for illegal procedure on the offense.
So here's a 5-yard penalty against Tennessee, and I think that will be the third, maybe fourth, for that situation. And the Volunteers have the ball moved back down to the 39-yard line. And so it will be second down and 14 yards to go with 7 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half of the game, and Tennessee leads by a score of 14-6. Clock is running as Tennessee comes with a wingback right in Bartholomew against virtually an 8-man line. Martin off play action is going to throw. Pass upfield is incomplete. Intended for Price. And he was double covered, and there was a man breaking in front, and so Martin might have just thrown that away.
Yeah, he just got rid of that one. Double coverage there against Price, and no place to throw the ball, really.
So for Tennessee, third down upcoming, still 14 yards to go, as the Vols lead of the game 14-6. Tennessee to this point 2 of 4 in third down tries. Florida State 1 of 5. Martin goes into a shotgun set, flanked by 2 backs. Maybe a blitz coming from the safety man. Martin sets it up, pulled down and dropped, and a penalty marker is down on the play. The flip was into the flat intended for Travis Stevens, and Stevens had a little running room but couldn't corral the pass. And flags fly as he wanders out to the left side. So with the score 14-6 and 6:55 to go in the first half, let's see what the infraction is.
Snap. False start by the offense.
So a dead ball situation means that the penalty will be assessed, and Florida State does not have the prerogative to decline. And so that's the 5th time Tennessee has had an illegal procedure penalty. And now the ball has been moved back to the 34-yard line, where for Tennessee it will be third down and right at 19 yards to go. The Vols lead 14-6. Now Tennessee comes with 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Florida State shows a 4-man front, but they may blitz on that right side. This will be Martin running the football as he gets to the outside. He's at the 35, and that's it. He's snowed under after moving to the 37-yard line by Dexter Jackson. And so it will be for Tennessee 4th down, and here comes David Leverton. In the ball game to this point, Leverton has had 1 punt. It was good for 28 yards. He attempted another, and Florida State was guilty of roughing him on the play. That punt was in the vicinity of 35 yards, and it was returned for sizable yardage by Florida State's Durden. Deep is Durden now, standing back at his 25-yard line. Leverton gets the snap, gets the punt away, and hits a penalty marker, is down on the play, is under the ball. Durden at the 20, comes to the near side, cuts back to the right, and will be down at the 26 or 7-yard line. As downfield was the snapper Gregory to make the tackle, but once again there's a penalty on the play. This time the punt is good for 44 yards, 9 on the return. The score remains 14-6 with Tennessee leading. Tennessee guilty again of illegal procedure. And so Florida State has the option to accept the penalty, step up another 5, or to take the football. And my guess is they will accept the penalty. So, Bill, in this possession, Tennessee is guilty of 3 illegal procedure calls.
Illegal formation.
That's just like
against
a
the
concentration, John. I don't know. You cannot play football when you have penalties like that. They had a good kick that time, good coverage, and practically no return. Here they're going to have to do it again.
And so the ball, after what was called an illegal formation on the punt, will move it back to the 31. In essence, the same tight violation. And so Tennessee lines up again to punt with Leverton standing back now inside his 20-yard line. And Durden is deep once more for Florida State. Change that, Warwick is deep. This will be Leverton. Gets the punt away, hits it high and long. Warwick backing up to his 21-yard line. He can fly, gets to the right side, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. This will be Warwick, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40. He is met and stopped as he moves to the 35, to the 30, inside by David Leverton, who made the punt. And Warwick returns that long punt of 47 yards all the way down inside Tennessee's 30-yard line. The kicking game.
What a costly mistake that was. Line up illegal formation, have to kick it again, and now you see Florida, the Noles are right back knocking on the door again. Big return, but a great stop of Leverton. He really popped him.
50 yards on the return by Warwick. Peter Warwick. Just a sensational football player. And Tennessee, who led in the game 14-0, now it's 14-6 with the Volunteers guilty of a turnover that followed right after Florida State had thrown an interception. Now Tennessee in the kicking game gives up a brilliant return by Warwick. And so Florida State with Alson throwing downfield. It is complete. Grabbed this time on the far side of the field by Warwick. By Duggins instead, who makes the catch and is immediately tackled by Steve Johnson, and it will be in the vicinity of Tennessee's 20-yard line. Florida State needs the 17 for the first. Tennessee leads 14-6 as State will get Warwick back into the lineup. After the outstanding punt return by the Seminoles, key player, I guess you could say, Warwick, who has received 61 passes this year. It will be he to the left side on 2nd down and 3. I formation. Tennessee 4-down lineman. There's movement by Florida State on the right side. And so the flags fly, and here will be a 5-yard step off against the Seminoles for illegal procedure as we get that call again from...
Both flags for the dead ball, false start by the offense.
So the 5-yard penalty will move the ball back to the 25-yard line. It will become 2nd down now and right at 8 yards to go. Florida State of the game has been penalized 6 times, 59 yards. Tennessee 5 for 25. Tennessee leads by a score of 14-6. 5:05 to go in the first half of the game. As the Seminoles get another tight end into the football game in the person of Franklin. Franklin brings the play as well. As Florida State will come into a shotgun set on 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Man in motion comes to the near side. Tennessee rotates its defense. Here comes the blitz inside, and cutting back this will be Alson. Alson carries the football as he breaks free. He carries to the 20. He has the ball down to the 15-yard line. He's got a first down as finally Darwin Walker gets there to make the tackle, but that was a set play, and it was executed very well by Alson.
Yeah, he did a good job with it. And it was a good call at the time, too. It caught Tennessee in a defense where they hit him right at their weakest spot with that quarterback option play or draw, whatever you might want to call it. It looked like it was just intended for him to carry it all the way.
So it's going to be first down for Florida State. They have the ball at the Tennessee 16-yard line. And now with 4:25 to go in the first half of the game, Florida State, adjusting its offense, will be asking for a timeout. It will be the first timeout by Florida State. Tennessee has used 2. For information on the Vols in cyberspace, go to the official website of the Tennessee Volunteers, UTSports.com. That's UT, and said, well, I think I may think about going back and play football. He was a member of the Knoxville, the professional baseball team in Knoxville, and one of the persons with whom he conferred about going back to college was Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning. And so he decided to go back and had an outstanding year until an injury sidelined him for the season. It's first down, Florida State against a 4-man front. This will be the pitch back, and it goes to Minor coming to the near side. He's got blockers in front. As he turns upfield, he cracks inside to the 15 to about the 14-yard line. He's tackled as he gets there by Al Wilson. Had a couple blockers right in front of him. He was trying to cut back and forth off them to get some running room, but Wilson was able to bang in there and drop him, so the gain is limited to about 2 yards on the play. With 4 minutes to go in the first half, the score remains 14-6. Tennessee leads as Florida State gets Coles back into the lineup. They've got a lot of speed. Also in there is Warwick, who's going wide to the right side. Coles comes left into the I formation. It will be 2nd down, 8 yards to go for the first down, and right at 13 yards to go for the touchdown. Tennessee coming with a blitz. They pick it up. Now it is Alson throwing the ball down and out. It is complete. Pulled down by Coles, who makes the catch and then is shoved out of bounds, short of the first down in the vicinity of the 7.5 yard line. So it was Warwick instead of Coles making the catch, and Dwayne Goodrich is able to shove him out of bounds. It will be 3rd down and about a yard to go. But Outson that time felt the blitz coming, but the offensive line of Florida State picked it up well.
They did. Looked like it started, and then they just kind of bumped in there. Never did get the pressure on him. Good play, good throw, and good catch there.
So it's got to be 3rd down, a yard to go for the first down, 7 to go for the touchdown. Tennessee leads 14-6 as Florida State comes to the line into an I formation. They've got a wing back to block on the right side, single receiver wide left. Tennessee with 4 down linemen. That wingback becomes a man in motion as Outson sneaks straight ahead. I think he made the first down. He needed to move it about 3/4 of a yard, and as he nudges the ball forward, the officials are asking for a timeout as a lot of people have stacked it up down there. And the ball is going to be just short of the 5, but that should be enough for the first down and 10 to go. On the year, Florida State inside the 20. 54 times. They've scored 44 times with 25 touchdowns and 19 field goals. Well, they didn't move it as far as I thought. It's going to require measurement as they bring the chains in from the far side. It will be stretched, and it is, I do not think he made the first down. It will be no signal yet from the referee. Florida State said he made it, and the officials say no, he didn't make it. It's going to be less than a football length to make it. The score is 14-6 with Tennessee leading. It will be 4th down and less than a football length to go. And Florida State, which trails by 8, is thinking about a field goal or going for it on 4th down. And right now, here comes a tight end into the football game for Florida State as the Seminoles will have it 4th down. They need a timeout would be my guess. And Florida State.
Florida State.
Yeah, I thought they would call a timeout because it's an 8-point game, Bill. And, it's always a gamble to go on 4th down. They don't have much yardage to make, and all probabilities Florida State would be able to nudge it that Knoxville with our broadcast to begin at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you want to look even further ahead, Tennessee next year will open the season against Wyoming. Then an open date at Florida, Memphis, Auburn, Georgia, open date at Alabama, South Carolina, Notre Dame, November 6th, at Arkansas, at Kentucky, and then Vanderbilt in Knoxville. Tennessee has won 10 games for 4 straight years. 1995, 11-1, 10-2, 11-1 right now. 11-2, I should say, coming in here 12-0. Well, Florida State has made its decision. Tennessee defending with a lot of people obviously up in what will be a goal line-like defensive set. Outson comes up under the center. Tennessee anticipating the sneak. That's what they get, and this time Outson makes it. Outson rides right on the hip of Whitaker on the left side, and he bangs it down to the 5-yard line. They come with a quick count and the give, and Outson this time is able to move it forward. I think he made the first down. Perhaps I'm a little ahead of myself there, but the official lines it up. Will he ask for a measurement? I don't think one is needed, as the referee still looks and waits, and he indicates first down and goal to go for Florida State. A gamble, I guess it paid off.
Yeah, well, you just about have to gamble there, I think, with being behind and the half coming up here. They got an opportunity like that. Odds are in their favor. That big offensive line, they should be able to make 6 inches or less than that, I guess, they had to make.
So now Florida State trailing by 14-6, first down and goal at the 5-yard line of Tennessee. They sent a man in motion. That's Warwick to the right side, and then flags fly, as Tennessee is indicating that the tackle on the right side, Thomas, might have moved, and Florida State is reacting as if that is the situation. So an inordinately high number of illegal procedures. This a false start again will move the ball from the 5 back to the 10, and it will become first down and goal still, but from the 10-yard line, and that's not all bad considering Florida State has great receivers in Warwick and Cole and Duggins. They've got more room now.
Well, John, surely it's not the crowd. I don't think the crowd's been that loud, but both teams are having trouble with illegal procedure.
This is Florida State going into a shotgun against a 4-man front. First and goal at the Tennessee 10-yard line. Outson may want to run again. He does. This time somebody reaches out. Corey Terry just at superlative defensive play as Outson had running room up the middle. But Corey Terry just stuck out a hand and made a shoestring tackle for a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
Looked like he grabbed him by the toe, John. He barely got a hold of his foot and was able to drag him down.
As it is Outson who has carried the ball a lot, 48 carries for 66 yards. And keep in mind, he only played really 3 games. Now in this game, 7 carries, 15 yards. Outson again going into the shotgun. It will be second down and goal. 2 receivers left, 2 right. 4-man front, Tennessee. Long count. Flags fly. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be the officials talking about it. And it's a timeout asked for Florida State, I believe. And so that will be the third timeout used by the Seminoles with 1:54 to go in the first half of the game. And it will be Florida State again. And I really don't understand exactly what is happening as far as so many illegal procedure calls on both sides. And anyway, Florida State, to avoid one this time, asks for the timeout. And so with the score 14-6, Florida State, which fell behind 7-0, a key play in Tennessee's offensive drive was a 76-yard play or pass play from Martin to Price. The Vols then were the beneficiaries of a roughing. Goes Florida State back to throw. Outson being chased, giving ground. This is Outson throwing the ball down into the end zone, and it is out of bounds, caught by Warwick, but he was beyond the end line as Tennessee had pressure on Outson, and Dwayne Goodrich was defending Warwick as well, and it will be third down and goal to go.
Outson took a pretty good shot just he let that ball go. He threw it up, tried to get it high in the back of the end zone and give his man an opportunity to get it. He did, but it was a little bit too far.
So it's going to be third down with 1:46 to go. Lots and lots of time in the first half. Tennessee leads by a score of 14-6. This, the Fiesta Bowl game, coming to you on the Vol Radio Network. This is Johm Ward and Bill Anderson sending you the action. So here come the Seminoles on third down and goal. Into the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left side. Alston looking this way is going to run instead. And Alston carries the ball down to the 10 to the 5. A penalty marker is dropped as he gets to the 3-yard line by Billy Ratliff. And so Outson, one thing you can say, he is not afraid to run that football. And that appeared again to me to be something of a quarterback draw straight up the middle. But there is a marker down. Let's get what the infraction is.
Illegal shift. There were 2 men moving at the snap. The foul's against the offense.
So there is another penalty, an illegal shift against Florida State. And indeed, it's not my place to anticipate, but obviously there was movement and an unusual alignment, and so here comes the penalty, which will move it from the 12 back to the 17-yard line.
By the offense, that penalty will be accepted. 5 yards. Repeat the down.
Here will be third down and goal at the 17. It would have been fourth down and about 2.5 yards to go. So Tennessee elects to accept the penalty, and Florida State will have it with 2 receivers to the left, one of them being Warwick, into the I formation. Minor is the tailback against a 4-man Tennessee front. This will be Outson. Back to throw, down into the end zone. It is incomplete. Intended for Warwick. Defending is Goodrich. And on the play, Goodrich comes down out of bounds and is shaken up noticeably on the play. So there is a timeout asked for as Tennessee's training staff comes over to visit. Now it will be fourth down, goal to go, and probably into the game will come the field goal kicker. We'll take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Vol Radio Network.
From the News Center, Knox County schools are an hour late on Tuesday. Also, Jefferson County, Granger County, and Greene County. First Lutheran of Knoxville also 1 hour late.
Texaco's fine selection of gasoline and motor oil products.
So into the game comes Leverton to punt, and deep for Florida State will be Durden. Moments ago, basically the same thing happened, and Florida State's punter, Cottrell, drilled it down to the Tennessee 5-yard line. That after Tennessee had punted down to the Florida State 9. Florida State with 4 down linemen to rush, an unusual set in a punting situation. There will be Leverton getting it away, a wobbly spiral, asking for a fair catch, then letting the ball drop will be Florida State, and Tennessee downs it, I think, at the 1-foot line. Let's make sure that it did not go into the end zone. It did not go into the end zone. It is at the 1-foot line, down by Dominique Stevenson, Bill.
Well, good coverage, and what a turnaround that was. Tennessee started out on their own 5-yard line and got the ball out to midfield to where they could kick the poocher, and now they've turned the field position around in great shape right now.
So Florida State will have the ball with Outson at quarterback. 14:50 to go in the game, and Tennessee leads by a score of 14-9. For the Volunteers defensively, it will be Lloyd, Ratliff, Walker, and Terry, Westmoreland, Wilson, and Granzow. Thompson, of course, has been struggling in the second half with that injury to his ankle and toe. Florida State brings Outson up under the center. Tennessee brings a lot of people up tight. Outson back in the end zone to throw. Pass downfield is incomplete on a broken route. It was intended for Warwick. Tennessee had him pretty well contained, but I think Outson was thinking either that had he thrown the ball to Warwick, there was a possibility of an interception, so he threw it away, or the route was to the inside, not the outside.
I think something was not right about that. I think maybe the receiver did not run the right route, because he fired that ball immediately and really not even in the right direction.
So it will be for Florida State 2nd down and 10 at its own, well, let's say the 1-yard line, with Tennessee leading 14-9. Up under the center, Outson. Tennessee with 4 down linemen. The handoff goes to the fullback, who struggles, that being Glenn, for a gain of maybe a yard, a little bit more than that perhaps, to wedge it out and give a little more punting room in case that is the eventual situation for Cottrell. The tackle made this time by Westmoreland. And so Florida State, trailing in the game 14-9, will have it 3rd down and still right at 8 yards to go. Back in comes Coles as a wide receiver. Florida State to this point 4 of 11 in 3rd down tries as they break the huddle, skipping a receiver left, 1 right. Tennessee leads 14-9. 4 down linemen for Tennessee. Linebackers adjusting, anticipating perhaps a pass. It will be back to throw Outson across the middle. The pass is incomplete, almost intercepted, as Tennessee had the intended receiver. Warwick covered beautifully. Steve Johnson stride for stride, and so it goes incomplete, and it will be 4th down. Florida State punting from its end zone.
Yeah, double coverage over there on him, but Johnson was in great position, went up, had the inside position on him, and could have easily have made the interception. He just couldn't hold on to the ball.
As it is, it will be 4th down, and deep for Tennessee is Parker, with Tennessee leading 14-9, 13:58 to go in this Fiesta Bowl football game. This will be the snap. It's a low one. He hurries to get the punt away and does a beautiful job. Parker backs up, camps at the 50, gets a block to the 45, outside to the 40, and struggles down to the 35-yard line. He stumbles and falls, but Tennessee has 1st down and 10 to go at the Florida State 35-yard line, as it will be Tennessee leading with 13:48 to go by 5.
When natural gas became the first full network statewide sponsor in 19...
With 1 touchdown, a missed PAT, then the field goal that makes it a 5-point game. Now play will be resumed. Tennessee sends Price wide to the right side. Also to the left comes Cedric Wilson into the I formation, as Florida State has 5 down linemen. This will be Martin faking, looking, going deep down into the end zone, racing. It is, tell me about it, intercepted Florida State, who took it away. And with the football, Florida State back up here to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, all the way to the 25-yard line will be Dexter Jackson. Tackle made by Spencer Riley. For a moment, I thought Price had it, but he took it away.
He took it away from him. They went up together, and he came down with it, pulled it away from him.
And so Florida State has its 2nd interception. The earlier one set up a touchdown, and this one prevented a Tennessee touchdown. 3rd turnover by the Volunteers in the football game. Outstanding individual effort on the play by Florida State's Dexter Jackson, as Price was there, had the ball as Martin went deep with the home run. As it is, Florida State wrestles the ball away, comes out with the interception and the 1st down at the 26-yard line. Up under the center, Outson. Tennessee with 5 down linemen to rush, leading 14-9. Outson, off play action, looks to throw across the middle. Pass is going to be complete on a diving grab by Dugans at the 41-yard line. Tennessee had an up defender break on the ball, but it came rifling in, and down went Dugans to make the catch, and he's been the key receiver thus far in the football game. So Florida State with a gigantic turnaround on the interception in the end zone and the return, now moving for a first down, trailing by a score of 14-9. And once more Tennessee's defense being taxed. Here to the line will be Outson up under the center. Minor is the running back at tailback. Flankers left and right. And this will be the give going to Minor, and Minor has running room as he breaks one tackle to the 45, to the 50, down to the 45, down to the 40. He is shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Tennessee as Travis Minor is finally rolled down by Will Overstreet. But Florida State with the turnaround on the intercepted pass in the end zone, the return, a pass for the first, a rush for the first. And suddenly, from Florida State having the ball inside its 5-yard line where it punted, Florida State has the ball at the Tennessee 39-yard line. First down and 10 to go. Defending for Tennessee, Lloyd, Ratliff, Walker, and Overstreet, Westmoreland, Wilson, and Grenzow. Florida State has up under the center Outson. Flankers left and right. As this will be Outson again handing to Minor. Minor to the near side, gets free of one man, runs out of the grasp of another man as he moves to the 35, to the 30, and is shoved out of bounds as he's carried the ball down to the Tennessee 27-yard line by Al Wilson.
Well, the momentum is shifting, no doubt about that, John. And that's a big interception down there. Could have been a touchdown for Tennessee. As it is, the Noles have got it down here knocking on Tennessee's door. Tennessee defense is forced back in there very quickly. Look like they're a little bit tired out there. They're not moving as quick as they were.
So now Minor, 14 carries, 82 yards in the football game. And the score remains 14-9, but Florida State is threatening. Outson rolls to the near side, but instead gives it off to the fullback, and McCray on a misdirection pounds for a gain of a yard on the play. Sean Ellis is there to make the tackle for Tennessee. The score remains 14-9 with the ball at Price and returning it upfield to give Florida State not only possession but better field position, and swiftly downfield Florida State just riding on top of that momentum has moved the ball to the Tennessee 25-yard line. At which point, trailing by 5, Florida State has an injured player on the field, and that gives Tennessee's defense a chance to Tennessee Price 3 catches, 120, and almost 4. But the almost turned into an interception by Florida State. And so play will be resumed now as Florida State will have it second down. Wide to the left side goes Warwick. And here comes Dugans over to the short side right. Outson up under the center. Minor is the tailback. He's gained a lot of yards in this drive. And the handoff goes to Minor, and this time he's going to be slowed with little of any yardage, as Tennessee's defense used that long lull, I think, to re-energize itself. And Minor is nailed after little yardage by Corey Terry, basically at the bottom of the stack. It's going to be third down upcoming, and for Florida State still right at 10 yards to go. Third and 10. In the air, Outson 8 of 19 for 106 yards in the game. So Tennessee digging in defensively, as Florida State sends Warwick to the left side. Right now, single coverage on him. Tennessee brings linebackers up tight, maybe blitzing. Outson up under the center. There's movement by the Florida State line on the left side, and so I think that will result in yet another 5-yard assessment. Both teams have just more than ever had such penalties as this one.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. Still third after a 5-yard penalty.
And so it will become third down and 15 yards to go for Florida State, as actually the official steps off 6. Better realign that, because it's now going to be third down, and that's a pretty good step off, actually. I don't know that it matters that much. Now Florida State comes back with a slot set left. Warwick is the wide receiver. And up under the center is Outson on third down. Outson off play action, sacked. Tennessee came absolutely clean with Darwin Walker, who had 5 sacks on the year, and he popped and dropped him deep, Bill.
Well, they've been having a good bit of success off of that play action. That time Tennessee didn't have any attention to the play action. They just came after him.
And so the loss is for Florida State back to the 41-yard line. And, Bill, I'm not sure how much that long timeout helped Tennessee, but I just had a feel it did.
It seemed to pep them up. They come at it strong.
Fourth down, and here will be Cottrell into punt with 10:50 to go in the football game, trying to back Tennessee up again. Cottrell gets the punt away. High, long spiral. It is going to be into the checkerboard end zone. Touchback. 41 yards. Now Tennessee's offense, which like Florida State has had some spurts, but more lulls than spurts, will come into the football game as it's... That's the schedule for Florida State next year, along with its regular ACC opponents. Tennessee has Travis Stevens in there at tailback. The Vols guilty of 3 turnovers in this game. This is Martin giving the ball off to Travis Stevens. He starts at the 20, and he nudges forward to the 21, where Humphrey is there to make the tackle. Florida State, and once again, Tennessee has an injured player. I don't know that he's injured so much as just being sort of twisted. That's center Spencer Riley. I say twisted in that he was sort of wrapped up there with a defensive lineman, and they get unhinged, and so Tennessee will have it 2nd down and 9. The Vols with a wing back to the left side, Sean Bryson, who is an excellent pass receiver. This is Martin going to run the draw. Nothing. As Tennessee comes with a quarterback draw, and Corey Simon is there with Rackley. And so Tennessee is unable to gain anything, and so it's going to be 3rd down and 9. Peerless Price is a wide receiver for Tennessee, returning to the huddle with the clock showing 9:45 to go in this game at the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe. This is Johm Ward and Bill Anderson sending the action, as Tennessee will come up with Travis Stevens as the running back. 2 flankers left, 1 right. Florida State 5 down linemen. They're going to blitz this time. Here they come. Martin back, steps up, struggles. Going to throw the ball long downfield for Peerless Price. It is complete. He makes the catch at the 45. He's at the 40, 35-30, 25-20. Just give it to him. No flags on the field. 79 yards. Touchdown, Tennessee. Boom! 3rd down pass, and Price goes one-on-one, accelerates, and Martin, anticipating that, lays it out in front, and Peerless Price, who earlier had a 76-yard reception, now moments ago had an apparent touchdown wrestled away from him for an interception. This time, no such thing. 4 catches, 199 yards, a touchdown for Price, and here will be Jeff Hall to attempt the extra point. It's down. The kick is up, and the kick is blocked, and it's chased down on the far side as Tennessee's Sean Bryson recovers it. But Jeff Hall, who had to this point kicked 49 of 49, has his 50th try blocked. And so the score is 20-9. Each team with outstanding kickers have had extra points go amiss. Right now at your Tennessee Ford dealer, you'll find a great deal on the new 99 Ford Ranger, like $1,000 cash back or low 1.9 financing. Ranger is the #1 selling compact pickup that has the highest quality rating, and it's the only compact that's available.
Was able to get by the defender out there and take it the length of the field. So, beautiful play. Florida State will send back Durden and Coles, and they're playing up inordinately high from the goal line, about the 10-yard line, which would indicate to me that perhaps Florida State expects one of Jeff Hall's pooch kickoffs, but we'll wait and see. As with 9:17 to go, Hall, who for Tennessee had his extra point blocked on his 50th try of the year, he's 49 of 50. Here is Hall, and it's one of those pooch kickoffs downfield that will be corralled at the 20, fumbled, picked up, breaking the tempo and carrying the ball to the 23, then to the 25. Twisted down is Durden as he gets out to the 27-yard line. So Florida State goes on offense, and Florida State will put the ball in play. As we said, at the 27, they're going to spot it at the 28-yard line, and it will be 1st down and 10 to go. For Florida State, Outson has gone all the way at quarterback. Travis Minor basically has been the tailback throughout the football game. Lamar Glenn has alternated with McCray at fullback. The wide receivers, Dugans has been the key man. Tennessee pretty well to this point, we say to this point, containing Warwick, who came into the game with 1,232 yards receiving. In this game, Warwick has 1 catch for 7 yards.
he has to this point, Bill. 1 catch for 7 yards.
I know what you're thinking, John, and they're going to start putting it up here. It's getting down to crunch time.
Florida State lost 1 game this year. That was to North Carolina State at Raleigh. And in that game, the quarterback, Chris Winke, was intercepted. He had 6 interceptions on the year, most of them in that football game, as turnovers were a key in Florida State's only loss of the year. In this game, turnovers have been certainly a key. A turnover by Florida State converted into a Tennessee touchdown. A turnover by Tennessee converted after 3 plays into a Florida State touchdown. Its only touchdown in the ball game. And then moments ago, when Tennessee appeared to have a touchdown reception in the end zone under pressure to Price, the ball was wrestled away from Price for an interception by Florida State. They came out, suddenly picked up great momentum, only to see Tennessee stop them. And then after Tennessee receives the punt, it's actually a touchback. 3 plays later, Tennessee is on the scoreboard again with the 3rd touchdown on that long pass play that went from Martin to Price. Here's Florida State. 1st down and 10 to go, trailing by a score now of 20-9. They line up in the I formation. Tennessee with 4 down linemen. Outson is back to throw, stepping up. He's in trouble. He's going to be sacked. He's fumbled the football, and it has been recovered, I think, eventually by the Big Orange, but I am not sure. When I'm sure, I'll tell you about it. I'm sure I told you about it. Recovered by Tennessee's William Ratliff.
Big play. Stripped him. He tried to pull it down and run one time too many. Had the ball out in his hand. Tennessee's defense was able to strip it.
Ellis popped him. Ratliff recovered. Turnover, Florida State. They're evening out. As we said on the year, both teams have had the advantage in turnovers. Tennessee plus 16 coming into this game. Florida State plus 11. And again, we'll repeat, the statistics individually in this game do not count as far as the all-time statistics are concerned. That's the rule of the NCAA in bowl games. So Tennessee will have the ball, leading now by a score of 20-9 at the Florida State 28-yard line, where the recovery is made. Travis Stevens stays at tailback, as this will be he trying the right side, gets to the corner, turns the corner to the 30, and is then shoelaced down on a reaching grab by Tay Cody. A gain maybe of 2 yards on the play. Mark it from the 28 to the 26-yard line, at which point Tennessee, leading by a score of 20-9, will have it 2nd down and right at 7 yards to go. Florida State defending in the secondary with Edwards, Jackson, Gibson, Cody. Jackson and Gibson have interceptions in the football game for the Seminoles. On the year, Florida State had 18 interceptions. Tennessee on the year had 16. The Vols line up now in a straight I formation with 2 receivers to the left side. The Vols lead in the football game. This is Martin. Handoff. This is Stevens breaking a tackle. Cuts to the outside. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. This is Stevens to the 15. This is Stevens to the 10. He is rattled out of bounds at the 8-yard line. He got just a slight sliver of an opening in the right side. He broke a tackle at the line. He turned it on as he dashes around the corner and skips 18 yards downfield. And Tennessee, leading by a score of 20-9, has it 1st down and goal to go.
Pound, John, and they finally popped a little bit of a crack in there. Nice run getting down there inside 8 yards.
Tennessee now will get 2 tight ends into the football game, Diagu and Finlayson, which indicates that the Tennessee team may be running. Finlayson has 1 touchdown pass. Martin sees that defense dance around, gives the ball off, and the quick opener to Bryson. The only problem, it was quick, nothing open. Got maybe a yard down to the 7-yard line. Tennessee leads 20-9 as Corey Simon was there to make the tackle, and the clock is down inside 7 minutes and 50 seconds and counting, as each team has all of its times out remaining in the second half of the game. Tennessee substituting, using a little clock now, but hopefully not that much from the Tennessee perspective. The Vols have the ball just inside the 8-yard line. There goes Price wide to the right side, and Cedric Wilson comes left. I formation, the tight end is to the left with the ball at the right hash mark. Martin looks it over, gives the ball off to Stevens, and Stevens is upended as he somersaults forward for a gain of a yard on the play. And Tennessee, after the brilliant run by Stevens, set up the goal-to-go situation. 2 runs by the Vols, 1 by Bryson, and 1 this time by Stevens, his knee dragging the ground actually at the line of scrimmage. So it's still going to be at the 8, and it's going to be 3rd down and goal. And a field goal would make it what? 23-9, 14 points. Right now the Volunteers will send Price wide to the right. Wilson comes to the left. Tennessee again thinking, not wanting another turnover. Stevens is there at tailback as Martin gives the ball off to Stevens through the left side, and he comes ripping down to about the 7-yard line. With the ball maybe 3.5 yards in from the left hash mark, as Stevens is stopped by Simon, the Vols will insert Jeff Hall for a field goal attempt. Thus far in the game, Tennessee has 3 touchdowns, a blocked extra point. Florida State has a touchdown, a missed extra point, and a field goal. Jeff Hall will come in for the Volunteers. He made a field goal earlier, but on the play he was roughed, and Tennessee accepted a half the distance to the goal penalty, and that is where Tennessee got its first touchdown, on a pass to fullback Bryson. Well, this will be of 23 yards in length. Scott will hold. Gregory will snap. Down goes the ball. Up goes the kick. Did he make it? I'll let you know in a moment. The kick is good, and Tennessee leads by 14, 23-9.
They set out to do that with that drive, John. They got down at 14-point spread in there.
These with garnet colors. Hall will kick. Again, it's Coles and Durden always moving up a little closer. They started back at the goal line, then they came to the 5, to the 10. Now they're standing out there about the 15-yard line, indicating that they feel Tennessee's going to kick it up short. So the Volunteers get a chance to get downfield and cover it. And the wind is in Hall's face at this point. Let's see what happens. Here's the kick. It's going to be a high one, and Florida State will have a man running up to make the catch. He breaks 1 tackle, but not the second, and he is lightning-like, he being Durden. A penalty marker then flies after the tackle is made, and it might be Tennessee guilty of a personal foul. That would be the indication, but we'll wait and see, as the official will indicate the ball was returned to the 36-yard line. And the penalty marker was dropped back there at the 31. And we'll get the call from the official as Tennessee leads in this game with 5:54 to go by a score of 23-9. The Fiesta Bowl 1999. As the Volunteers are indicating that it will be
after
against
the play,
them.
dead ball, personal foul.
Personal foul, Tennessee. And so here comes the penalty against the Volunteers, as we anticipated. Not a good play at all, obviously, and it will step the ball all the way to the Tennessee 49-yard line for the personal foul. And so Florida State, trailing now by 23-9 with 5:54 to go in the football game, will have it first down and 10 to go at the Volunteer 49-yard line. They come to the line in the shotgun. Outson is the quarterback. Tennessee with 4 down linemen. Outson looking over. Tennessee's got 5 defensive back. The ball is snapped to Outson. He fumbles it, scrambles after the loose ball at the 46-yard line. And I think that Florida State was able to maintain possession. I'm not sure as yet, as the official is indicating that Florida State did indeed recover the fumble on the snap into the shotgun. But there is a loss on the play of 5 yards. Spotted back at the State 46-yard line, at which point it will be for Florida State, 2nd down and 15 yards to go. Substitutions for Florida State, as Minnis, I think, has come on for Warwick. Let's double check. And wide as Warwick is staying in there, so Minnis is going to be a slot man as they go back to the shotgun. Running backs back there with him, Minor and Glenn. Could be a possibility on a delayed draw. Snap goes back here. Outson being pressured, stepping up. Outson will run with the football, carries it forward, breaks 1 tackle as he moves back to the 45 to the 50. Is tackled as he gets downfield to the 46-yard line. There's a scramble there for the football as it was juggled, but I think perhaps after Outson was nailed by Corey Terry. And so it will be still short of the first down with 4:43 to go in a 14-point game. Tennessee gunning for its 13th victory of the year and leading in the game by a score of 23-9. Following the game, of course, Tennessee will have the bowl roundup and later will be in the dressing room to visit with Coach Philip Fulmer. It will be 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Florida State in the shotgun. Tennessee coming after Alton, who rolls out of the pocket this time, looking to throw. Will look, will wait, will throw the ball upfield, and it is incomplete. Penalty marker down as Alton was blasted after he released the pass, or as he was releasing the pass. And let's see what the call is going to be. Another penalty. There have been all kinds of penalties in this game. The clock is stopped with 4:08 to go after the incomplete forward pass.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer is the call against Tennessee.
Pass interference
as
against the offense. Receiver was downfield blocking. Those penalties will offset. Replay the down.
Well, the Pac-10 officials, Bill, have been involved in this game from the start. And Tennessee was called for roughing the passer. And to be honest, I was watching the flight of the ball downfield, and it was called pass interference, as you heard, against Florida State. So it will be 3rd down and still 7 yards to go. Marcus Outson sees the clock now at 4:08, brings his team to the line on 3rd down and long. Staying in the shotgun, Tennessee 4 down linemen to rush, ball on the left hash mark. And this will be Outson again, same play, moving to the near side, looking to throw across the middle. It is complete, pulled down by Duggins, who makes the catch at the 25. He has the ball at the 20. He's down to the 15, down to the 10. He is tackled as he gets to the Tennessee 6-yard line. Duggins again on the catch. This time the tackle made by Raynock Thompson, but he has been the key receiver, and that time he comes open across the middle, and Outson with time completes the pass for 39 yards. And so with 3:58 to go, it will be Florida State 1st down and goal to go at the Tennessee 6-yard line. They line up with Outson up under the center this time. Outson back to throw, pass down into the end zone is incomplete. That stops the clock with 3:48 to go in the game. Tennessee leads by a score of 23-9. Defending for Tennessee, Steve Johnson, as we'll remind those who might have joined us late that Dwayne Goodrich, who earlier returned a pass interception for a touchdown for Tennessee, went down with an injury near the end of the first half, defending against Warwick, and he has been lost for the rest of the game with the injured ankle. So he is not in the secondary. Instead, it's Griffin, Edmonds, Grant, and Johnson. Up under the center, this will be Outson. Minor and Glenn, the running backs. Clock at 3:48 with the incomplete pass. Back to throw Outson. He'll step up and run. He carries the ball down into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State. Outson out of the shotgun, as he's done time after time in this football game, just moves it forward to score. And so Florida State closes the gap down to 23-15 with 3:42 to go. And Florida State will go for the extra point with Janikowski in there to attempt it out of the hold of Outson. And Outson, the running quarterback, made it pay off that time as Tennessee was protecting against the pass. Here's the extra point by Janikowski, and the extra point is up, and it is good. And so with 3:42 to go, Tennessee's lead is now 23-16. And Florida State with Janikowski, an accomplished kicker, which means, Bill, he's probably outstanding on the onside kick, which could very well be coming up.
Could very well be. 3 minutes.
With Tennessee leading 23-16. The scoring has gone 7-0 Tennessee, 14-0, 14-6, 14-9, and then it was 23-9. Now it's 23-16. And Janikowski is prepared as Florida State lines up in a conventional situation. Now they send more people to the wide side of the field, and that's where Janikowski is pointing it. And he's going to kick the onside kick, which is coming upfield, and it has been recovered by Florida State at the 46-yard line as Janikowski kicks and Janikowski recovers. So Florida State executes the onside kick perfectly. And now the officials are in to discuss what the situation is. Florida State says it's our ball. The officials still talking about it. And let's see what the final rule will be. It might have been touched by Florida State prior to moving past the 45-yard line. And so the officials discuss the situation with Tennessee leading 23-16 and 3:41 remaining in the football game. The official, I think, will advise us what the ruling will be.
The kicking team touched the ball before it went 10 yards.
I guess right. I guess right for once.
Oh, that was an unusual looking thing. The ball, the man that touched it was a kicker. It hit him before it got there.
And so it is ruled touched at the 43-yard line. Florida State players are irate about the decision because Janikowski had executed the play apparently perfectly, but he forgot that you had to let the ball go 10 yards before it could be touched. And so Tennessee will have the ball now with 3:41 to go in the football game. The Volunteers in the game guilty of 3 turnovers, and Florida State a total of 2. And so this will be Tennessee coming to the line. As close for Florida State, but not quite. Martin will stay at quarterback for Tennessee, now with Travis Henry in there as the tailback. All kinds of time left, considering the fact that both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. The Vols need a first down. Florida State says no way. Tennessee sends in motion Bryson, who's playing as a flanker. The handoff is fake. Throws the pass, pulled down by Bryson at the 40. Bryson at the 35. Horse-collared down as Tennessee runs a brilliant play, in my opinion. My opinion doesn't mean much, but you can see Bryson, who came as a flanker to the left side, running in motion back to the right. The fake give was to Henry, and it ends up as a gain on the play of 8 yards.
And a big thing, he's got it up there, position to make a first down. Just 2 yards to go now. Big play, and he was open. Nice throw.
So with 3:13 to go, Tennessee leads by a score of 23-16. And Martin brings them up with Travis Henry, the tailback. Now Bryson back in there in his normal position in the I formation. Long count Martin. This will be Henry, right side, crunching forward. I'm not sure. I think he's short of the first down as Jerry Johnson makes the tackle on him. Got maybe half a yard on the play. It was about 1.5 yards to go. Got closer to 1 yard. So it's down to 3rd down and about 1/2 yard to go for Tennessee. Blocking up front for the Vols, Clifton, Champion on for the injured Hamilton, Riley, Coleman, and Rito. For Florida State, on 3rd down inches, it will be Warren, Simon, Johnson, Reynolds, Rackley, Allen, Humphrey are the linebackers. On the year, T. Martin has 7 touchdowns, mainly on sneaks, as somebody is standing around, and I'm not sure who's going to ask for a timeout. It will be Tennessee using a timeout after the play clock ticks down to 2 seconds. And so with 2:17 to go, Tennessee will discuss what the call will be. And with 2:17 to go, the Volunteers lead by a score of 23-16. Basketball returns to action for Tennessee fans as the Volunteers will be playing on Wednesday in Knoxville. We'll have the broadcast of the game between the Volunteers and the Tigers of LSU beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Let's take 10 seconds station identification. This is your Vol Radio Network.
From the newsroom, Knox County schools an hour late Tuesday. Anderson County is closed. Hawkins, Sevier, Loudoun, and Lenore City all 1 hour late. This is WIVK-FM Knoxville, WNOX AM Knoxville.
At Tempe, Arizona, this is Johm Ward and Bill Anderson sending you the play-by-play on the Vol Radio Network. Florida State's defensive unit has been to the sideline, anticipating what Tennessee will do on 3rd down and inches. The ball rests at the Florida State 33-yard line, and Tennessee still huddled around the coaching staff on the far side as T. Martin will come back in there to make the call. And let's see, in the middle they've got Simon, and my guess is Allen is going to be right up there in the middle, because my guess is they think Tennessee's going to go with a sneak, as T. Martin at 6'3", 215 is the quarterback up under the center. They bring people up tight. Tennessee with a power eye set to the right side. Quarterback is Martin. This is Martin. Handoff, right side. Tackle made. Didn't make the first down.
He didn't make it.
As Corey Simon is there to tackle Travis Henry, as they just overpower Tennessee. And so the Volunteers will have it, and Florida State is going to use a timeout right now, stopping the clock with 2:07 to go in the football game. The Vols actually maybe lost half a yard on the play. And so for Tennessee, it will be 4th down, upcoming with, maybe 2 feet to go for the first down. And keep in mind that it's at the 30. Well, they're going to measure. I think they're measuring just to indicate to both sides how much yardage is required as they stretch the chain, and it will be short by about 2 football lengths. And for Tennessee, leading in the game by a score of 23-16. A decision has to be made here, as I'm not sure Florida State was motioning for a timeout, but they might have decided against that when the measurement was called for by the referee. Tennessee again seeing the chains taken back to the far sideline, and the Volunteers a little too far out to try for a field goal. And Tennessee is apparently on this situation with 2:02 and counting, down inside 2 minutes. The Volunteers lead by a score of 23-16. Tennessee is going to try for the first down. Cedric Wilson to the left. Travis Henry is the tailback against a 6-man Florida State front. T. Martin for Tennessee. Rolling to the near side, looks to throw, complete. 30, 25, 20, 15, 14, 13, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Sean Bryson would not be denied. They're going to say that actually he was tackled back at the 11-yard line. That ain't all bad, actually, because it will be a first down.
Woo.
And Tennessee on a sensational effort. A brilliant call, actually, by Randy Sanders. I'm sure that Coach Philip Fulmer was involved, but it's a 22-yard gain for the Volunteers.
Yeah, that was a gutty call, John, and they come out of there. They had to have it. That was an excellent call. He stepped out of bounds, I think. There's
Could have been. What an effort, though, by Sean Bryson.
Yes, no question.
So Tennessee now leads by a score of 23-16. The clock shows 1:35. He was out of bounds, stopping the clock. So this is Martin up under the center, hands the ball off and pounding forward. There's a fumble, scramble for the ball at the 9-yard line, as Florida State says it has the football, and it does. That was Henry carrying, and they stripped him with Allen ending up with the ball at the Florida State 9-yard line. How quickly things can change.
As well.
Down to the 36-yard line. Penalty marker then flies on the near sideline as Stevens circles the left side, gets right at 9 yards on the play. There is a penalty marker on the play, however, right in front of the Florida State bench down below. Be it against Florida State, then Tennessee would have a first down. We'll let the official, who has been a factor.
Both flags are for a personal foul, face mask by the defense. Automatic first down.
Well, he does a better job than I, by far. First down, Big Orange. Tennessee now 53 ticks to go, and the Volunteers for the national championship leading Florida State by a score of 23-16. It is a 15-yard penalty against Florida State, so the Volunteers had the ball at the 21-yard line of the Seminoles. At that point, Tennessee, with 53 seconds to go, will have it first down, Bill Anderson, and 10 to go.
You know, John, there's been a lot of penalties. Most of them each team has brought on themselves with the illegal procedure and all that kind of stuff. But I think for the most part, the officials done an outstanding job tonight.
They've been on top of it from
really
the Pac-10. 12 penalties, 112 against Florida State, 9 for 55 against the Volunteers. Well, Florida State has a defender up there leaning over to shout at Tennessee in the huddle, as T. Martin will be up there for the Volunteers. 32 seconds and the clock is counting. Will he go to a knee? Yes. And then he is touched, but no infraction. This football game is nearing its conclusion. This season is nearing its conclusion.
Oh!
Coach Philip Fulmer has been doused with Tostitos chips, perhaps. Who cares? Here come Tennessee fans from everywhere. Here comes media from everywhere. You can count it down with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The national champion is clad in big orange. Tennessee 23, Florida State 16.
What a year.
The roar is deafening like rolling thunder. That can mean only one thing. It's football time in Tennessee. Show your true colors in UT Sportswear from Goodies Family Clothing, your college wear headquarters. Just come in any Goodies and look for the department that shines bright orange. Goodies has shirts, jackets, caps, and more at great low prices to get you ready for your favorite pastime, watching the Vols smash the competition. Get your winning colors from Goodies Family Clothing.
This is Johm Ward saying there's nothing more aggravating than a dead battery. That's why you need a battery from the Power Pros at your co-op. That's right. Your co-op carries a complete line of batteries to fit lawnmowers, boats, ATVs, passenger cars and trucks, and even heavy equipment. And the co-op will even test and install your battery. For the best batteries and automotive supplies your money can buy, go Co-op.
Welcome back to the End Zone Show, sponsored by GTE Wireless. Here's Touchdown Charlie.
Hello, sports fans. Today's topic is flexibility, not like muscle flexibility, baby. I mean the flexibility to throw out the playbook and come back with a winning play. Like GTE Wireless. Man, are they flexible. Hey, if your needs change, you can change your rate plan without adding to the length of your contract.
Don't get locked into a rate plan with some other wireless provider. Stay flexible. Call GTE Wireless today.
Keep it loose.
All car insurance seems pretty much alike until something goes wrong. Then you find out if you're getting your money's worth. With State Farm, you have your very own agent, not just a phone number. An agent who helps the world's largest claim service network get you back on the road fast. And that's what you're paying for with State Farm. Someone you know, someone you can talk to. That's what sets State Farm apart.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tennessee finishes the season 13-0. Jeff Jacoby is in the middle of the mass on the field. Let's go down to Jeff Jacoby.
Okay, John, we got Sean Ellis with us here on the floor of the Fiesta Bowl. And Sean, tell us how you feel, man.
I feel good. We fought, kept fighting. Players were getting hurt. Players stepping in. It's just a good team effort. That's what number one team is all about, man. Hey, it's good.
You caused a big turnover second half. Tell us about the play.
Well, we came on the field. We know we had to get a turnover. We had been practicing all week. You know, we got called turnover. Hey, we got one right there.
This team never quit, did it?
Never quit. All year long, this team been fighting to the end. And that's what this team is about, fighting to the end. We never give up, never give up.
Great job, Sean.
Appreciate it.
Back to John.
Thank you very much, and Jeff Jacoby. And for our stations along the line, you'll have to bear with us. We're going to break the format every way we possibly can, as the main thing is to let Tennessee listeners around the world to the Ball Radio Network share Bill Anderson in this magic moment, a national championship.
It's magic, John. I didn't think we'd ever see one, buddy. It's here, and it will come when you least expect it. That's the thing.
As Tennessee, of course, goes 13-0, and here again, Jeff Jacoby on the field.
Okay, John, we got Billy Ratliff with us, and Billy, this has got to be a great culmination to your career.
Yes, I've came out for the whole year healthy. Finally got there and got a big one this year. Got a national championship, taking it back to Knoxville. I'm just happy right now, man.
Billy, this defense got hit by injuries tonight, but they just hung in there. Everybody contributed.
Yes, I knew when Ron went down, I had to step a whole lot. I had to play at least 40 snaps. I came out, I conditioned all week, and I made it through it.
Is that knee hurt now?
Oh, no, it don't hurt. No, feel like Tito's chips now.
Okay, Billy, good job.
Thanks.
John, you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff, and he'll be visiting as Tennessee players, Tennessee fans, Bill, I'm sure, like they did at Knoxville when the Volunteers won 20-17 in overtime, would like to rush onto the field. It's not going to happen here. The security a little tighter. They want to own those goalposts, but you know, Bill, who knows what's going to happen at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, they may be back over here to get them sometime in the night.
As Tennessee wins the game by a score of 23-16, and the Volunteers go through a season undefeated, 13-0, and we're going right now to the public address announcement.
Laughlin to make the presentation of the Sears National Champion Trophy.
Where Alan the captains are. Coach, on behalf of Sears and the 300,000 associates nationwide, I'd like, and the American Football Coaches Association, I'd like to present to you, your team, and the University of Tennessee, the Sears National Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Are there any Big Orange fans here? A few, Bill.
I want to say on behalf of our football team, a special thank you to the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. They were incredible hosts. I want to say an unbelievable thank you to the crowd of Tennessee loyal volunteers.
They're loyal. They're loud.
I want to say a special thank you also to this group of seniors that have been incredible leaders for our football team throughout the year. And to Sears, thank you. It's been 47 years since Tennessee football has brought one of these home. We've got a special place for it. Thank you very much.
Well stated. Well said by Philip Fulmer. A happy man. He's happy for his team and for Tennessee fans. And we're going to stay here go back to the PA or come back here. You tell me. We're going to stay right here as it's time, Bill, to select the Phillips Magnavox player of the game.
Wow.
You've been doing that all these years. Maybe I'll get a little input here. Let's make things better with Phillips Magnavox. Who made things better for the Big Orange? Well, throughout the season, we basically are forced to name one player to go to the coach's TV show so that it can be fit into the format of that. There ain't going to be no coach's show, Bill. I'm going to put in a vote for the Magnavox players of the game, the 1998 entire football team. Do you want to overrule me?
No, I'll go along with that, John. It's been an incredible effort by these young men. I'm going to tell you, everybody associated with the University of Tennessee football team this year has to be awfully proud of them.
Congratulations to the University of Tennessee football team and coaching staff, the national champions, our Phillips Magnavox players of the year, not only the game. In addition, Phillips Magnavox will be making a $500 donation to the Volunteer Athletic Scholarship Fund.
Are you a big college football fan? Attend all the home games and try to catch as many as you can on the road. You can plan those road trips with Web TV from Phillips Magnavox. You can get airline schedules, book car and hotel reservations, and even find out the weather. It's all on the internet. You don't need a computer or computer skills, and the required monthly service subscription gives you unlimited access to the internet. Everything a good football fan needs to know is available from Web TV. It's instant information. For the retailer nearest you, call 1-888-813-7069. Phillips Magnavox. Let's make things better.
Hi, Dan Marino here. You know, on the football field, I've been known to take a few risks to keep a drive alive. But when it comes to driving our nation's highways, there's only one way to play it: safe. So be alert, always wear your seatbelt, and before a night on the town, be sure to choose a designated driver. Remember, we're all winners when we make safe driving our goal.
A message from your friends at Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tennessee wins over Florida State 23-16. Bill Anderson, what's that shirt you've got on there?
Well, I haven't got it on yet, John, but the Huskers already had them printed up. Your national,
and it says?
National champions.
Jeff Jacoby down on the field. Jeff?
Okay. Live and Raynock, tell us what's going on.
A whole lot of things is going through my mind. This is the greatest feeling in the world. Moment. I was a little kid.
Raynock, you got hurt in the ball game, but what a great job by the defense.
Yeah, I got hurt. I just couldn't. They had to chop both my legs off for me to come out the ball game. I had to suck up. Defense did a tremendous job, especially our secondary.
Have you ever felt like this in your life?
No. It's just a numb feeling.
Next year?
Just gonna enjoy the moment. By the time all-season workouts come, we just gonna get in the weight room and on the field and just work out hard and try to repeat.
Raynock, I know you want to celebrate with your teammates. Great job, great season.
Thank you.
Raynock Thompson here on the floor of the Fiesta Bowl. Back up to John.
Okay, Jeff Jacoby, excellent job, an excellent job by our staff and engineer Tim Berry, because it is not easy with all of the pandemonium down there to keep things on the air. Jacoby back again. Okay, Jeff.
We're back down here, and Coach Bradley, tell us how you feel.
You know what? This has just been such a unbelievable year. All of these things, I just want to say to my brothers and my sisters back in Tennessee, especially my brothers and my sisters in Knoxville, you know, the rings, the money, the hats, all that'll pass away. The thing that matters, the blessings we've been given is the one that gave those blessings. We need to take time to remember him.
We certainly do. And, Coach, you had to step in and do some things this week with the shake-up. How'd that go for you?
You know, the kids knew what they were doing. It was just a matter of getting them to practice. They play because they've been trained well.
All right.
Great year.
Good year. Coach Bradley, back to you, John.
Okay, Jeff Jacoby, thanks to the Tennessee players and the staff. And, of course, later we'll be visiting in the locker room with Coach Philip Fulmer, who I'm sure Bill Anderson will have some things to say. The final score is Tennessee winning by 7 points. I've forgotten the score. The scoreboard's off 23-16. I think that, who cares? The final score, Tennessee 23, Florida State 16. The Volunteers are the national champions, winning by 7 points. The final score for Bill Anderson. This is Johm Ward saying stay tuned for the national championship scoreboard and the Philip Fulmer Show coming up on this, the Vol Radio Network.
$2,500,000 worth of copiers and faxes have to go. BMC is having its biggest copier warehouse sale ever at drastically reduced prices.
There's not many dealers that can say that. And over the past...
You're listening to the Big Orange Locker Room Show at the 1999 Fiesta Bowl. A complete rundown on tonight's national championship game with final statistics, a game summary, and exclusive interviews from the Tennessee locker room. With your hosts, Jeff Jacoby, John Wilkerson, and Randy Smith.
Sponsored by Eastman Chemical Company, reminding you that good sports always recycle. By your local Sonic Drive-In. Sonic, inviting you to drive in for a change.
By State Farm Insurance and the more than 400 State Farm agents across Tennessee who support volunteer football. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
By your local Farmers Co-op, providing quality products for everyone. State of Tennessee, proud sponsors of Vol football. By Nextel Communications. Nextel, you've never used a phone like this before. And by Logan's Roadhouse and the beef producers of Tennessee. Beef, it's what you want. Back in 30 seconds.
The Big Orange Scoreboard is brought to you locally by United States Cellular, Pigeon Forge Factory Outlet Mall, Delmar Haynes, Pontiac Jeep Suzuki and GMC Truck, Home Federal Bank, ORNL Credit Union, Tanker Factory Outlet Centers at Five Oaks and in Pigeon Forge, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Dr. Robert Campbell, Swaggerty Sausage, the original Hot Tub Company, and by Volunteer TV, WVLT Channel 8.
This 1998 Tennessee football team has been called many things. A blue-collar team, a lucky team, a team of destiny. But now, ladies and gentlemen, you can call them national champions. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Big Orange Scoreboard Show from the Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, where Tennessee has won the national championship with a 23-16 win over the Florida State Seminoles. Right now, let's go back down to the field where Jeff Jacoby is standing by. Jeff?
Okay, Randy, Cedric Wilson with us, and Cedric, describe the feeling right now.
Hey, it feels wonderful, man. You know, nobody think we was going to be here. I mean, we had a lot of doubters, man, but, you know, I just tilt my hat off to them seniors, man, for getting us out of this game. Al Wilson and Peerless Price. I mean, those guys really showed up big tonight.
Talk about Peerless. He made some great catches.
Oh, yes. Like I said earlier, man, you know, Peerless is probably one of the finest people that I've been around, man. He wants the ball. He wants the big play. And, I mean, he made a couple tonight.
Talk a little bit about your big catch.
Well, you know, the coach didn't really call my number too much tonight, but every run play, I was getting after them DBs. I was making them, you know, feel it. I mean, they didn't really want to guard me. So I mean, once coach called my play, he was real soft because he didn't really want me to cut him. I caught the ball, went out of bounds, you know, just to keep the drive alive.
Can you really believe it as you sit here and think about it?
I can't. I mean, it didn't hit me, but it really hadn't hit me yet. I mean, I guess once I get to the hotel and I start thinking about it, you know, because when I go out to enjoy myself tonight, I mean, it's probably hit me then.
Cedric, great season.
Thank you.
Cedric Wilson, let's go back up to Randy.
All right, thank you, Jeff Jacoby. A happy Tennessee team begins to file to the locker room as they defeat the Florida State Seminoles 23-16 for the national championship. The perfect season is in the books. 13-0 for the Volunteers. And right now, Let's check the stats here once again. The voice of the Vols, Johm Ward.
The final statistics are brought to you by JCPenney, your Vols National Championship merchandise headquarters, with special store hours at both its Knoxville Center and West Town locations tomorrow. The doors will open at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning to better serve all your National Championship merchandise needs. Tennessee wins the final score. The Volunteers 23-16. First downs, the Volunteers 16, Florida State 13. Rushing, Tennessee 45 carries, 114 yards. Florida State 40 carries, 108 yards. In the air, T. Martin was for the game 11 of 19, 2 interceptions, and also touchdowns for the Volunteers, and it will be 278 total yards. For Florida State, Outson, 9 of 22, 2 interceptions. He had a total of 145 yards. Total offense, Tennessee, 392 yards. Florida State, 253 yards. Fumbles lost, Tennessee 2, Florida State 1. Penalties, Tennessee 9, 55. Florida State 12, 112. Punts, Tennessee 5, 38. And Florida State 9 for 39. Third down conversions, Tennessee 5 of 11. State 5 of 14. Total offensive plays, the Volunteers 64. Florida State 63. 4 sacks by the Vols, minus 31 against the Seminoles. Florida State 1 sack for minus 3. Florida State rushing, Travis Minor, 15 carries, 83 yards. Outson, the quarterback, 18 carries, minus 1 yard in the football game. He had a touchdown rushing. Receiving, Warwick, 1 catch, 7 yards. That is the statistic of the football game. Ron Dugan's outstanding game, 6 for 135. Travis Minor, 1 for minus 8. For Tennessee, T. Martin, 10 carries, 19 yards. Bryson, 3 for 7. Stevens, 13 for 60. Travis Henry, 19 for 28. Receiving, Finlayson, 1 for 14. Henry, 1 for 9. Wilson, 1 for 7. Bryson, 3 for 34 and a touchdown. Copeland, 1 for 15. Peerless Price, 4 for 199 yards and a TD, as the Volunteers win the football game and the national championship 23-16.
Tennesseans are at home with natural gas. Natural gas heat means a home that's fresh and warm. Gas water heating means a home with more hot water. Saves up to $200 a year.
So, natural gas is at home with Tennesseans.
You reversed it. I said Tennesseans are at home with natural gas.
Makes sense either way.
You're right, because either way, where natural gas goes, your hometown grows. Natural gas.
If you think about all the East Tennesseans who benefit from UT Medical Center, you could pack Neyland Stadium several times over.
And your telephone can put you in touch with the region's
the right tools together and